some of the things that started happening after this experience, I really can't put them into order because they didn't really happen in any specific order. They're just kind of random things at first. I'd hear footsteps. Sometimes I'd hear a voice, somebody call me, or hear people talking. I'd be the only one in the house. I remember one instance. Matter of fact, I was going to visit Joe, the dark druid, and I was alone in the house when my roommates were gone out to do something before we were leaving to come visit him, and I'd hear a woman with high-heeled shoes walking down the hallway in the house, and there's nobody in the house but me, and I had this real nauseated feeling, like I didn't feel good. It'd come on me all of a sudden. I felt sick to my stomach and really weird, and then I heard these sounds. And I've heard, like I said, I've heard voices. And then I've gone into places like a restroom or something in a movie theater and couldn't stay in there because it felt like that there was somebody right in front of my face looking right at me, like right up in my, like in my space, like there's somebody right on you.
Yeah, the feeling of another presence right there.
Like you're being watched, like there's eyes right on you. It's a weird feeling. It feels really creepy. And there was nobody else in the restroom. I was in there by myself, and I walked in. I couldn't even stay. I had to just turn around and walk out. I've seen shadows, and it's happened in multiple locations. It doesn't matter. I've done it in restaurants with groups of people, where there'd be nobody around, and we'd be in a corner booth, and nobody's up walking behind us, and I'll see a shadow move along the wall behind people that I'm looking at. And there's nobody there to make it happen. There's no way that, there wasn't a waiter walking by or anything. And that would happen. The most prominent thing that I have, really, I have the insomnia, like I said. I might get 4 and 5 hours of sleep a night for 3 or 4 nights. And I'll have a day where I'll just crash and just sleep maybe 8 hours because I'm so wore out. But I have dreams. And in these dreams, it's more like I'm awake than asleep because I remember everything that happens. And when I wake up tired because it's like I've actually been awake all night doing stuff. I remember eating, and I remember doing things, and I remember people. And some of the people are people I know, and some of the people I don't. But in all the cases, if it's somebody that I know, they're not quite right. They're just a little bit off. Their personality would be different. Someone that I knew that would be really sweet in real life, in the dream state or whatever this is, would be a little bit sinister, a little bit nasty, not quite normal, And it's hard to put into words because I don't know what it is myself. I have no idea what it's called. But some of the dreams are very vivid. Like I remember one recently. I remember I got bit by a snake in the dream. And I woke up the next morning and I still had the feeling of the sensation of the bite in my hand. I could still feel it. And I didn't have any marks or anything, but I could feel like it felt like something had bit me there. And it just was really strange. And, and I'll go into places that people say are paranormally active. And I'll get this weird feeling. And it's hard to explain because it's like electricity will move up my back, and every hair on the back of my head will stand up, and it's just this weird feeling like you just know there's something there. And I have that, and then I also have this hum in my ear. It's above middle C, and it's always there. And sometimes it's really loud, and sometimes it's not quite so bad, but it never goes away. And I've been to doctors, they can't find out what's causing it. But it's been there since that day. I woke up with it. And so that's the kind of stuff I've been dealing with. It really gets old because you get tired. It wears you out.
Yeah, and especially with the sleeping thing. As you stated, we both have insomnia. In the last video, I've had it for years, and it's tough, especially since I'm married, I have a family, and it's kind of hard to explain that, there are nights that I may be up until 2 or 3. There are nights that I might not even sleep. And I'm not talking, I only got 2 or 3 hours sleep. No, I'm talking I've laid in bed the entire night and stared at the ceiling. this is like, I think my longest stretch with insomnia has been 8 hours of total sleep in a little over a week. If you have not had something like that, it is so impossible to describe how you feel, because literally all of your emotions, all of your feelings, everything goes into this crazed swing, because all you can think about is going to sleep, but you can't. Again, we're not talking, oh yeah, I was up with friends, I was watching TV, I was playing a game, I was reading. No. This is windows, everything closed and blacked out. Light, everything in your room completely shut off. No television, no sound, no anything. And you lay there and you're wide awake. And usually, like with the Lightseeker, after 3-4 days, I have a crash day. And I'm out. My longest crash day I can remember was I slept for 19 hours straight. I was not able to be woken up. There were people moving around me, people talking, everything. I was out for 19 hours. I almost slept for a day. Basically, you could call it a mini coma.
And then the worst part of it too, and I don't know about you, but I'll be sitting in front of the TV and be nodding off because I'm so tired, and go to bed, and I'll come in here and I'll be so tired and I'll lay down, and the minute I hit a pillow, I'm wide awake, and it's like, how the hell did I wake up from the time I left the living room to the time I got in the bed in the bedroom? It's only it's like 25 feet, and I was exhausted. I didn't even remember the TV show I was watching because I slept through, 5 or 10 minutes of it. I was sitting there dozing off. I was so tired. And I just know I'm going to sleep. I'll come in here and lay down. And boom, and my eyes are wide open. And then I'm saying, well, so much for that.
I would stay out here in the living room, and I would until I was literally dozing off, falling asleep. Sometimes that was 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get up between 6:30 and 7 every morning. So I would be up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like sitting there dozing off, and all of a sudden like, okay, I'm at that point, I can go to bed. By the time I get in the bed, I still watch the clock click for another 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours. There has been more than one occasion I have shut our alarm clock off before it went off, because I've been laying there staring at it all night. You look over at it and you go, oh, well, it's 6:15 and I got to be up in 15 minutes. I might get a nap in. And you look at it again. Nope, it's 6:25. I'm done for the day. You're not sleeping. You're done. That's it. Yeah, I just reach over, turn the clock off. Hey, babe, time to wake up. Oh, I didn't hear the alarm go off. It didn't have to this morning. I was awake to, be the alarm clock. And it's hard. It is hard living a life like that, and even working. Luckily, I usually try to get jobs that are overnight jobs, because I'm going to be up anyway. And for someone who can't go to sleep sometime, I used to actually open a restaurant. I was the kitchen manager, and I would literally not be asleep. I will have been up the entire night, and I'm going in there to open a restaurant at 4:30 in the morning. So there were times that I would go to work for 2 or 3 days in a row in a kitchen and haven't slept one time in that. You go, then when you get off, you're worn out, you try to nap, you try to get some form of sleep, and it just doesn't come. It doesn't happen.